Yes. Dr. Mindy in the house. All right.
I appreciate that.
The carnivore diet.
Because of what we eat.
Honestly, you've really touched my heart.
What have you learned from talking to all these moms of famous people?
It has been such a masterclass in parenting. And I will tell you, one of the focuses for me has been I wanted to seek out moms who've raised people that I see to be happy, fulfilled. A lot of them have been famous because it's a little more interesting and everybody kind of starts on the same page. But I've also interviewed people that aren't famous, and it's the same story as the moms who have well-known children. And what I see time and time again is it is about supporting the child for who they are, exactly as they are, not putting on, this is who I want you to like the sport because I was good at the sport. It's seeing your child for who they are, loving them like crazy, that love, many moms were just like, I just loved him. I didn't always know what I was doing. I didn't really know how, the ins and outs, the nuts and bolts. I didn't always get those right, but I loved them.
Yep.
And then enabling them to, one of the moms talked about championing her son's abilities. And it's like, you love them for who they are. You don't try to change them. And then you just enable them, and it's kind of like amplifying who they already are. So, they are still, the child is still doing that work, but those are some of the key factors I continue to see time. I've interviewed probably now maybe around 40 parents. But for the podcast specifically, like a Colin O'Brady, who he's had all these world records. He, climbs mountains and like Mount Everest, regularly. And he's an incredible person. He's a great book. Jesse Itzler, Sarah Blakely, Kyler Murray, so NFL people, world record holders, billionaires who create an incredible brand, all of them, they've all said some version of those common threads. And it's been really interesting, and it's impacted me as a mom myself. That's how I started this whole journey. Was I'm raising 3 little girls, and I'm like, I want to understand how it's one thing when you're trying to pick out what kind of, diaper to use. It's another thing when you're like, how do I create a child or a person that becomes happy and fulfilled in life and healthy in life? Like that's a different journey than just, the things I can find on Google. And so I wanted to have these conversations with the people that have done it, that I can look at the child and say, your child's 50 and happy and fulfilled and loves you still. And to your point about that, the study is also all the parents that I've interviewed for the podcast, they still have a very close relationship with their kids. It wasn't like I raised them, but that was, and I didn't seek that out, but it's been an outcome that I've noticed, like, they all still are very close. And whether it's weekly meals or, trips together or whatever, they're all still very close. So that supports that study as well.